Hello there, welcome. I'm Elizabeth if you're new, and in this video we're going to be doing some DIYs, I guess you could say, on some thrifted fall inspired art. I have a couple pieces here that I'm going to show you as I'm talking so you can see what I'm talking about. These frames aren't in the best of shape. They also lack quite a bit of detail. Especially this pheasant one here that I had recently thrifted for $6. I really love the print. I think it's perfect for fall, but as you can see, the frame could definitely look a little nicer. I don't really like the rustic look of the outer frame and just the fact that it's kind of a faux wood finish. So we are going to embellish both of these frames, make them look even more beautiful, ornate, and vintage so that they fit in with all the rest of my art. So let's jump into this first DIY and then we'll move on to the rest. And here's a better look at everything I'm going to be using to give these frames a makeover. I bought these little wooden pieces off of Amazon. I'll have them linked below. I'm also going to be using some rub-in buff, some gold paint, a little bit of glue, and that's really all we're gonna need. So let me show you how good these frames turned out. I'm really excited that I was able to completely transform them. And hopefully this gives you an idea for some kind of ugly frames that you might have sitting around your house. First step to transforming these frames was to lay out all the pieces that I had to work with, see what was looking good, the composition that I wanted, and I decided not to use these floral kind of longer ropey pieces. They weren't fitting in properly and I just didn't think they went. So we're just going to use the 5 pieces and use some E6000 glue to put these on. Now you can use wood glue or hot glue if you want. I chose the E6000 because it dries down flat and clear, and it dries actually very quickly. I only had to set these aside for probably 10-15 minutes and they were set in place, not budging whatsoever when I went to paint them. So I definitely liked using the E6000 for this project. I'll link it down below. You can also get it at Hobby Lobby. And now it's time to paint so that everything comes together and marries nicely so it doesn't look so out of place. And I'm using this gold leaf paint that I got off of Amazon. This is the first time I've used it. It's a really pretty color, has a very nice sheen, definitely has a gilded look to it. It is a little bright, so we're going to play with it and try and give it a little bit more of an antiqued, aged look. And here's what it's looking like after that first coat of the gold paint. I think it's pretty. It covered really nice, but it's just a little too bright yellow for what I had in mind. So I'm taking some kind of bronzy crafting paint and I mixed it with the gold, and now I'm going back over top of it to give it a little bit more of an aged look. I still felt like this frame needed something else, and the inner portion that was gold to begin with, I really didn't like how that was looking with the paint on it. So I remembered that I had some trim down in the basement. I went down and grabbed it. I had just enough to frame out this inside piece here, and I'm just going to use some miter shears and hopefully not mess up and not cut them in the wrong direction, which, spoiler alert, I do end up doing on one of them, but I think I rectified the problem. But anyway, I really like how this ended up turning out. Again, it's just adding all of those extra little details that's going to make these not so beautiful frames look that much more special and vintage. Another thing I decided to do was to fill in all these deep grooves that were all very symmetrical, and I just didn't like the rustic kind of look that it gave the frame. So I figured since I'm putting all of this work into embellishing it and adding trim, I might as well just try and fill these grooves, even though that means I have to repaint it. But that's the next thing I'm doing here. And then we'll move on to the next frame. This next frame needed much less plastic surgery, and it was a very quick and easy process, and it turned out so pretty. So basically all I'm doing is adding those ornate corner pieces, and then we're going to paint it all the same color so that it all blends. And I once again mixed that gold leaf paint with a little bit of the bronzing paint, and then it was perfect. I also kind of hit some of the high points of those corner pieces with some of the gold gilding paint just to help them pop a little bit more, and that one was ready to be hung. Put this frame up on this wall and replace these more summery looking prints. So that's my plan for that one. Okay, so here's where we ended up on this frame. I'm not going to be able to show you the finished product in this video because I ordered one more of these to put on the bottom. I feel like that will just balance it out a lot better, and then I'll have to repaint it. But as you can see, I tried to fill all those grooves. You can still see them, so it's just gonna have to be good enough. But I think once I get the other one of these on the bottom, it will help disguise them a lot more. So you'll see this again when I do decorate for fall. I'll make sure you see where I put it and how it turned out. This next fall frame DIY is really simple, easy, and very cute. So I've been collecting all of these little paintings just whenever I see them. And what we're gonna do is apply some magnet to the back, and you can get all different types of these magnets. This is a peel and stick, I guess you could say, magnet strips that you can cut to size. You can also just get the actual round magnets off of Amazon or Hobby Lobby or any craft store. And yeah, you just simply apply it to the back of your little piece. I've done this with vintage tiles. I've done this with butter pats, and then you put them on your fridge and you have like a little gallery wall on your fridge that you can change out for the different seasons. Alright, hello. So today I'm going to be sharing with you a little fall haul of some things I've been collecting over the last several weeks. Some things are thrifted, some things are new, but we're going to show you everything, and I'll try and tell you where everything is from, possibly how much I paid for it, if I can remember. If you hear the fan in the background, it's because it is another 80 plus hot muggy degree day here in Michigan. Still no signs of fall here, but it looks like next week we should be hitting some much cooler temperatures, which is really going to get me in the mood to decorate. I'm super excited. I still have baby on board, so that's going to kind of determine when I start decorating. Maybe sooner, maybe later. We'll see how I'm feeling, but let's jump into this haul. And by the way, if you're new here, I'm Elizabeth, and I share all things home inspiration as far as decor, lots of vintage, lots of antiques, and secondhand finds. So subscribe, like this video, and let's check things out. All right, I have everything sitting here in front of me. I'm just going to kind of grab things as I have them sitting out, no particular order. So this little topiary I found thrifting a few weeks ago. I so wish there was two, but it's got some nice color to it, realistic. I liked the pot. Very cute. Wish I knew where this was from so I could find another one, but I think I only paid $4 or $5 for this. Might have even been less. But perfect little fall accent topiary. And then even more recently at the thrift store, I found two of these dried floral, I think this is kind of like a boxwood maybe, and I'm not sure what the other floral is, but these were $4 a piece, and I thought they were really pretty. I don't mind the glass that they're in. I think they're just a little more high-end looking, I guess. And I like that they're just dried florals and not faux florals. I'll tell you one thing that I've really become conscious of when I decorate for holidays is that I try to not decorate with things that are super literal, meaning like something like a sign, you know, the little signs that you can find with the wording on them, happy it's fall y'all, and stuff like that. That's just not really my style. I don't like literal, they're very retail looking type of decor, if that makes sense. So as I'm showing you my haul here, just keep that in mind. I also try and do my best to decorate with things that are as close to realistic looking as possible. That's not to say that I don't still shop at Hobby Lobby and stuff, because I don't know about you guys, but the only store I can find fall decor at right now is Hobby Lobby. Everywhere else is all Halloween. They have like no fall. Joann's I've been into, like TJ Maxx. Target does have some fall, but not much, not in our area. So Hobby Lobby it is. I don't understand why Halloween is so popular. I think fall decor would be more popular since you can carry it through all the way to November for Thanksgiving, but anyway, I don't decorate for Halloween, I just decorate for fall. So this is a new purchase, a new item, and this is from Hobby Lobby. You've probably seen this pumpkin. It's the most realistic looking one that I've ever seen. there anyway, and I really liked the color of this. I like that it's more muted, it has that dusty kind of a look to it. Last year I used some real pumpkins that had like the most beautiful dusty blue color to them. They didn't even look real. I hope I can find more of those this year. I absolutely loved them. They were so beautiful and unique. So that reminded me, this one reminded me of those. So I do like to decorate with small real pumpkins, but not so much big real pumpkins just because they can get heavy and stuff. But I thought this was pretty, and I'll find a place for this, and it was 40% off. So it ended up being around $20-some. I think that's the only pumpkin I'm going to purchase this year. I still have tons of little faux pumpkins, and last year I took the time to take the stems off of our real pumpkins and put them on the faux pumpkins, so hopefully that elevates them a little bit. So I finally decided to grab one of these beautiful paintings, these pieces of art from Hobby Lobby. This was 50% off, so it was around $7.50. And I think I'm going to put this in my kitchen. I am planning to decorate with pears in the kitchen for fall. Pears, and another thing I would love to find at Hobby Lobby, but ours doesn't have them, and I've been looking for weeks now, and I've checked online and they're out of stock, and it's those blackberry stems that everybody has. I want them so bad, but I can't get my hands on them, so I'm so sad about that. But anyway, got this piece of art. The funny thing is you can't even really thrift art anymore for less than that, let alone even come by it anymore. Also at Hobby Lobby, I did grab these berry stems. These were the next closest thing, I guess, I thought, to the blackberry stems, but I thought these looked very realistic, and I think they are blueberry, maybe? Yeah, blueberries. So those are cute. I grabbed 3 of these. They were 40% off. So maybe we'll mix these in with the pears to add a bit more rich tones. Okay, so these are the pear stems that I was telling you about. I did get these off of Amazon. I'll link these down below. They look a little more like apples than pears. I think they are apples, but still very fall and harvesty. I kind of like them. They definitely look realistic. I mean, they're sparse for sure. And they were a little bit on the pricier side, but I just could not find anything else. But I think these will be nice. I do have some other pear stems, but they're red, and I wanted to stick with the more orange, browns, yellows for fall. So yeah, I think these might be a nice combination maybe. Kind of keep it with like the fruits and stuff, the harvesty type decor in the kitchen for fall. Okay, also at Hobby Lobby, I saw these cute little mushrooms, and I thought they looked quite real actually. Like I said, I tried to only get things that look real and not so retail and literal. So I'm going to cut the tops off of these and maybe put these somewhere in my kitchen. I got 3 of them. I think they ended up being $2 a piece. They also had a green color, but I liked this more orangey, smoky color for fall. Okay, we're still on my little Hobby Lobby haul from yesterday, but I found this one lone tea towel, and it was $5 originally plus 40% off. I just like the colors in it. It's that muted orange color. I don't think I want to go for anything that's too vibrant, deep orange. I tried that last year and I got sick of it within 2 weeks, and I took it all down and I switched it out for more muted tones. So I'm not going to do that to myself this year. So this will look good in the kitchen with all the other decor that I plan to use in there. And then I don't know if this is technically fall. It was in with all the fall. It's called a fall tableware rustic table runner. But I think I'm going to put this on my buffet in the laundry room. That's the word I'm looking for. And if you guys haven't seen my most recent home tour, I take you through everything. It's probably like been a year since I had done a home tour before this most recent one that I just did on my channel. So a lot has changed. My house looks completely different. I even had some comments about how they don't like all the blue in my house and they won't watch me as much because I decorate with more blue now. But if you've been here since the beginning, you know that I like to experiment. I like to try different decor styles, different color schemes, and I don't think that's going to change at all. I probably will continue to do that. And yeah, I'm always going to have a little bit of blue in my house. I love blue. I love blues and greens. They just calm me and make me feel at peace, and I think they're just classic. Can't really go wrong with blues and greens. So anyway, I just thought that was funny that she commented that. I said, that's okay, you don't have to watch. I'm still gonna keep experimenting with my home decor, my style. And okay, so I have plans for our IKEA Upland Love Seat couches. The thing I love so much about these couches is that you can replace the covers on them, and I do it quite frequently. I have white on them now for summer, which I love the look of the white, but obviously it gets very dirty. So come fall, I got some kind of deep denim blue covers, and we're going to put those on, and it's just going to be nice to have something darker and richer and deeper, a little bit moodier for the fall time. But I'm going to do my other trick that I do all the time, and that is put these gingham covers on my big 26 by 26 pillows that I have on the backs of my couches instead of the cushions that came with the couches. I just think it gives it more of a cottagey kind of more of a casual look, and I love the ruffles. So we'll see if I like this blue. If it still feels too summery, I will get out my tan gingham covers and save these for Christmas time maybe or something. So that's the plan for the couches. And then I also have some new pillows that I'm going to be putting on the couches, and it's these. I got 4 of these, and I found them at TJ Maxx, and I just loved the colors. I love the colors in these. I love that they're muted. They have a little bit of the blue, but they also have the muted oranges, and they look a little more rustic to me because they've got the kind of frayed edges on them. So I'm excited to use these. I'm not quite sure what else I'm going to pair with them, but these are definitely going to be, I think, add a nice touch of the type of fall I'm going for this year. And then I also have these in my stash that I would show you. So this is the color orange that I really want to go with. It's more muted, more subtle, not super vibrant. So I have 2 of these that I could also pair on the couches. I don't know if I want to do velvet. I'm just not sure if that I want to get so fancy with velvet, but we'll see if I can juxtapose it with, you know, the more rustic elements, and maybe the velvet will look okay. I found a couple of pillows at our local antique store the other day. Well, I actually found one, and it would have been perfect, and I was like, I so wish that there was 2. And then I got up to the front to pay for what I had purchased, and the lady was sitting on the other one, but it had stains all over it, and I so wish I would have just said, well, can you just give it to me at a discount and I'll try and get the stains out, because they were really cute. They would have gone perfect. They had a block print, they had ruffles, they had the blues and the oranges, and then the kind of more beigey cream background. So maybe if I go back and it's still there, that's what I'll talk them into doing. And then for some reason I popped this in the haul, because I did just get this too at Hobby Lobby. Something for the baby. Couldn't resist since we're kind of having a fall baby. So another thing for the couches, I still have to have some of my green in there. So I got 2 of these throws, and they're just a really pretty kind of sagey, olivey green. They go with the pillows really nice, so I'm hoping it all pairs well together. and just has all those nice kind of muted, more rustic country fall color tones without being like so much hot orange that it just like makes me feel anxious. I get really anxious for some reason when I'm surrounded by hot colors. So these I think you already saw in one of my last thrift hauls, but they are fall related in case you didn't see that video. They're just really cute little wooden plaques, little fall scenes. And I had planned to put these on my refrigerator, but since I have all that other art that I'm going to put on there, I'm not sure if I'll also put these on or if I'll just find a spot on a wall or something, or tuck these in somewhere, even on my shelves, who knows. Okay, these aren't necessarily fall related, but I thought I would show you. I really like using these little wooden plate stands, and especially these tiny little ones on my bookshelves right here behind me. I like to put just tiny little dishes, little butter pats, all sorts of things on these, so they are just very handy, and they were only $1.50. Okay, I think I have one last thing to show you, and I'm very excited about it. Let me see if I can show everything in the picture here. I might need to scoot back. Okay, so again, Hobby Lobby, but if you've been around for a while, you know that I like to always flank my living room fireplace with two symmetrical types of decor. I've had my orchids from Balsam Hill up there now for a few months, a couple months all summer long, and then I'll usually have like maybe topiaries or matching candlesticks. And I was like, what can I do for fall that's different? Because I always put my two matching wooden candlesticks up there. And I have been looking at this particular lantern at Hobby Lobby for years and years and years. I've always really liked it, but it was like $70, $80 and even half off. I just didn't want to spend that. Well, now it was only $44 and half off, so it ended up only being like $22. And I thought that was a good price for this large of a lantern. And I have another one coming. They're ordering it for me so I can have the two on either side of the fireplace. And I just thought that this would look really pretty for fall and even through Christmas possibly. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to put inside it, but flameless candles would be a good option. Even my like brass candlesticks that I thrift with some pretty colored candles in it. We shall see. So that's my plan for the fireplace. I'm excited to see how that's going to end up looking. I think it's going to be really unique and pretty, and I always like to have the height on either side of the fireplace. Alright, so good news. As I was filming, we got our Amazon packages delivered, and the last two things that I have in my fall haul arrived. One of them being this lampshade, this wicker lampshade. I love this. It's going to go in the living room. It's a tiny bit too small. There is one bigger size. So I'm going to probably return this one, get the bigger size, but the color's perfect, and I think it's going to look really nice here in the living room, just to add some more natural looking elements and kind of take away some of the fancy. I have another thing coming for the living room that's going to kind of add a little bit of casualness to it. With little kids and everything, I don't want everything to be so super fancy, especially come fall. I really like to add in a lot more country type rustic elements to my decor. And alright, well, I think that is the full haul of everything I've been accumulating and collecting for fall 2024. I'm very excited. We have a lot going on, but it doesn't really change the fact that I just really enjoy getting my house ready for the seasons and cozying it up, and just having that change is always very welcome. I love change. So the changing seasons always gives me a reason to switch things up and play with my decor, do something different. But I hope you enjoyed everything. I hope you really enjoyed the DIY art that we did and how you can upcycle these kind of not so beautiful frames and make them much more beautiful. I definitely love how they turned out. I think they look so much better, and I'm excited to display them in my house. So don't pass up a nice piece of art. If it's in an ugly frame, you can always embellish it and make it look the way that you want it to look. But if you feel so inclined to say a little prayer for me and baby, I would really appreciate that. He could come any day now. I'm over 38 weeks, so you just never know. I'm not totally ready, but you know, he's gonna come when he's ready, I suppose. So if you remember to say a prayer for us, that would mean so much to me. I believe in the power of prayer. So anyway, thank you for being here, and we will hopefully see you soon next week. If the baby doesn't come, I'll try and come up with some type of a video for you, as I always do. If baby does come, I might be taking 2-3 weeks off, something like that. So if you don't see me for a while, that's why, but don't abandon me. I'm not going to be gone forever. I just will probably need to take a break to just focus on my new little guy and not have any pressures of creating content and all those sorts of things. But keep an eye out for me on Instagram at Old Maple Home, and also on the community tabs here in YouTube. I'll let you know what's happening. So, all right, thank you for being here, and we'll see you in the next one.